We are live for another edition of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 Busch Series racing on a doubleheader Wednesday night. And we will kick things off here at the Michigan International Speedway for race number 1. Race number 2 will be at the Indianapolis Raceway Park IRP. So a fast 2-mile oval and then a short track for tonight's action for the Busch Series. The Cabela's 250 at Michigan is about to begin, but before that, I gotta tell you guys to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more daily NASCAR content. Whether you're a fan of NASCAR video games, the races on the weekend, I do live commentary for there, just like you'll see with the realistic commentary in tonight's stream, and pretty much any stream we do on the channel is live realistic commentary basis, whether it is the video games or most importantly, the real races on the weekend. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in on a Wednesday night. Usually, the Busch Series races are not this early. 6 p.m. is usually the Cup Series start times, or roughly. But, again, we're doing a doubleheader today. 2 Busch races back-to-back. The second one will start between 15 to 20 minutes after the first race. And we should get everything done by around 9 o'clock tonight is what we are shooting for. So 250 miles of racing at Michigan. We'll see how this is going to go. Last season in the Busch Series at Michigan, this was the race that had the most cautions in it. We'll see if that will be the case again this season, this time around. Our pole sitter today will be Greg Biffle in the 60. He is the points leader coming in, and obviously he is our driver for this season as well. We'll see if he can pick up where he left off in the most recent Busch Series race. Billy Kramer and many others welcome into the stream here tonight. Green flag is in the air. Greg Biffle will lead the field of the green at the track he won at the most in his Cup Series career, trying to get a Busch win at that same track tonight. Pretty good start into turn 1 on the outside lane for Dwayne Borland as he has a big push from the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. And Biffle, despite being the pole sitter, will not be the leader off the exit of turn 2. Hamilton going to pull low, trying to block Biffle for second place. Big run coming into turn 3. Borland not going to be able to block it. Hamilton is on the inside. Biffle is right behind Bobby Hamilton, and Bobby Hamilton's trying to lead lap 1 at Michigan. Biffle trying to get around him as he follows him past Borland for second place. And Bobby Hamilton, who qualified 4th, will be the leader of lap 1 at Michigan. As Greg Biffle went down to the apron trying to get a run on Hamilton into turns 1 and 2. Hamilton trying to hold on strong. And Hamilton's holding on strong right now. We'll see if he can get the run on the outside off the exit of turn 2. He's got drafting help behind him with Dwayne Borland in that 135 car. Biffle to the inside. Into turns 3 and 4. He is clear off the exit of turn 4. Big time crossover, though, by Bobby Hamilton. And Hamilton will lead this lap at the line. So Biffle does not get 5 bonus points, and he may lose second place to Borland as well as he hops in line behind the 135. Field is really spaced apart from mid-pack on back. There might have been a stack-up. Yep, I was going to say, might have been a stack-up. You can see a little bit of dusting and smoke down the back straightaway, and there's some skid marks down towards the apron on the inside as well. Biffle underneath Borland for second. Bobby Hamilton looking very sporty early on as he throws the block on Biffle in the middle of the corner after having a much wider entrance. Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream as well. Near 80 degrees for you today. Yeah, today got up to 70 for me. Didn't get to enjoy it much because I was at work, but it was nice. At least when I was outside for the brief moment from my walk from the building to my car and from my car to my house, which is like 10 feet. Got to enjoy the sun. Had the windows down. Biffle a little loose into turn 3. Trying to hang on to it. A lot of Cup Series regulars in this race at Michigan today. You will not see a lot of them, though, at Indianapolis Raceway Park later on. It's been crazy, and catch tonight's stream. Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in. You got a doubleheader. To finish off your crazy day. Biffle's not able to make a pass on Hamilton. He had a pass on him in turns 3 and 4. Hamilton made a great crossover. That was on lap 2. Five laps complete. Hamilton's led them all. Again, he qualified 4th. Track position is definitely a big key at Michigan. It is fast, and you're able to stay in the draft and stay close together because of it. It's like 3rd place is starting to close in. If Biffle can't get around Hamilton, I wonder if some of the other faster cars that might have qualified a little bit further back might have a shot to get to the lead here before long. Played a short night after work. I would have if I wasn't streaming this early, but I planned on the doubleheader. We were still going to do it. I'll get to golf tomorrow on my day off, though. It's supposed to be 70 again. Greg Biffle down to the apron, into the tri-oval. He gave it his all down on the inside, but he wasn't able to make the pass. Ron Hornaday looking pretty fast in the early going. He's been trying to get around Biffle for about a half a lap for 2nd place. Biffle almost to the inside of Hamilton. Looks like Hornaday overdrove the corner a bit. He was on the inside, and then he went a bit wide. Biffle with another run off the exit of turn 4. Again, he'll go down to the apron, into the tri-oval, looking for the pass. He's got the advantage on Hamilton for right now. Hamilton getting a little bit better of a run, though, down the straightaway. It definitely seems like the 25's got more straightaway speed than the 60. And off the exit of turn 2, again, Biffle will hide in line behind Hamilton. Really close to getting into his left rear. Biffle lifted off the exit of turn 2. You don't want to do that at a fast track like Michigan. But he didn't want to risk taking him out. That might give Hornaday enough of a run to get underneath the 60 in turns 3 and 4, but not quite. Again, down to the apron. Biffle working on Hamilton. He just cannot get around him. Gonna go high to try and block Hornaday at the last second, though, for 2nd place. And he's able to get back down to the bottom in time into turn 2. Track is pretty wide, but obviously it is pretty tough to pass. Biffle's trying to get around Bobby Hamilton. He's not able to drive it in much deeper than him. All over his back bumper. Looks low. Off the exit of turn 4. Once more. Can Biffle make the pass? Tried to go down to the apron. Got a bit loose. I don't think he led that lap at the line. It was really close. Hamilton on the outside. Biffle loose again in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Up the track he goes. He catches the car right before he would have gotten into the side of Hornaday. And he'll hold Hornaday clear off the exit of turn 2. That was nearly a crash. A little close for comfort there. Biffle has made contact with the wall or anybody in this one. He'd like to keep it that way. Man, oh man, oh man. Biffle loose off turn 2, and he's definitely struggling in turns 1 and 2 right now. It's the 2nd time he's gotten loose. That one was more off the exit of the corner instead of the middle of the corner. Hornaday again looking down low. We have one car on the apron trying to get to pit road. It looked like Cody Holt has blown an engine in the early going of tonight's race. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Hornaday looks low. Biffle gets a bit loose. Some of that might have been the air getting taken off that rear spoiler. With Hornaday as close to the left rear corner panel as he was that time. Drafting help on the outside. A little bit of a pull that time for Hamilton and Biffle as they draft together on the back straightaway. Hornaday is going to be looking for his first lead of the race, and I think he's got it. Biffle going to try to follow. Oh, contact with Hamilton. First time he's made contact with somebody in this one. Biffle back to second, but Ron Hornaday is now the new leader. Not sure where he qualified, but it was definitely outside the first 2 rows. Did a great job really running down the top 2. Some of it was maybe Biffle taking a bit too long to try and get around Bobby Hamilton. You can definitely tell the 60 is not great in the clean air. It's a 3-car breakaway from the field right now. Biffle definitely trying to keep that pressure on. Down to the bottom. Hornaday left a little bit of it open. Biffle couldn't make the pass, though. Now Hornaday's running off the wall down the back straightaway, really trying to protect on the Biff behind him. Into turn 3. Remember, again, Biffle started on the pole, but he has not led a lap yet. He's been inside the top 3, though, the whole time. Biffle slides the tires into turn 3 a little bit. By the way, that last lap was Biffle's fastest of the race, 39.094, very close to getting into that 38-second lap barrier. 39 won that last lap, and Hornaday and Biffle are pulling away from Bobby Hamilton. Just a little bit, at least. Biffle's been trying to make the pass. Pretty good run in the draft. He's starting to pull down low, but Hornaday rather, is there. It's definitely a 2-car breakaway right now. It was 3 cars. Hamilton maybe not as good on the long run. That great initial start to get that jump out to the lead despite qualifying 4th. Really not able to keep up with the top 2. The only good news is with Biffle being in the draft, he's able to save quite a bit of fuel. If he was leading laps, he probably wouldn't be saving any fuel at all with how hard everybody's racing right now. We don't know exactly how many stops will be made. We just have to wait and see. Haven't hit the halfway mark on this tank, though. And I doubt they're going to... I would imagine this is probably going to be a 2-stop race. The only thing they really hope for is it's not a 3-stop race or borderline on being a 3-stopper. As long as they can make it 43 laps or even 42 laps, they should be able to make it on 2 stops. Tires chattering into turn 3. Biffle's still pushing hard just to stay with the 2 of Hornaday. Not sure how far ahead interval-wise they are ahead of Bobby Hamilton and the rest of the field on back. Only 20 races to go on the season following this one today. Nearly full throttle through turns 1 and 2. Biffle to the inside of Ron Hornaday for the lead. On the bottom lane, trying to hold on. Pushing hard. clear. Off of turn 4, Biffle has gotten around Hornaday. 5 bonus points. He'll finally lead his first lap. 20 laps in after starting on the pole. So Hamilton led about 13 laps before Hornaday got to the lead. Hornaday led the last 7, and now Biffle leads. Tristan Heidenkamp, welcome to the stream. We're on lockdown. That doesn't sound fun. That was Biffle's fastest lap of the race. No wonder he was able to get a run underneath Hornaday for the lead at 39.048. Make it hard on Hornaday trying to make the pass on him now. Even in the lead, he ran a 39.0 that last lap as well. About 0.05 of a second slower, a little less than that. Hornaday, though, back to the inside, and he's going to take that lead away from Biffle. So Biffle only led 2 laps in that transition. Biffle down to the apron. A little loose down there again. He's probably going to stop going down there now. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in today's race when we get back to the start-finish line this go-around. Again, it is a 2-car breakaway, for the moment at least, between Ron Hornaday and Greg Biffle. Biffle trying a wider arc through turns 1 and 2. Giving up going into the corner to try to win the race back to the gas. Couldn't get underneath them, though. Biffle's not able to get the car to turn, though, as well. He has to really round that corner out when he's in the dirty air. Well, the good news is he was able to get 2 laps let in. Hornaday's got a really good race car, though, for him to be able to lead as much as he is. Hornaday really widening the arc that time. Biffle pushes in the middle of the corner. It definitely looks as if he loses Hornaday just about a car length to a car length and a half off the exit of the corner. But Hornaday's able to hold on to the lead, and Biffle's able to hold on to the draft on these long straightaways at Michigan, so that's the great equalizer. So at least it keeps the 2-car from pulling away. Halfway on fuel at lap 26 for Greg Biffle. So again, lap 26. Biffle's halfway on fuel. R6, welcome to the stream. 10 viewers currently in our first race of the doubleheader tonight. Second race will be on another stream at the Indianapolis Raceway Park following the conclusion of this one. About 15 to 20 minutes after the fact, we'll have a little break between races. Going to Atlanta this weekend for the Cup Series race. So I figure with a couple days of no content on the channel, that I'll live streaming wise, figured I'd do a doubleheader during the week this week. Biffle trying to sit behind. Now he'll go. Looking for the lead to the inside into turn 1. Biffle underneath Hornaday. He's able to barely beat him back to the gas. Big slide job off the exit of turn 2. Barely cleared him. There might have been a bit of contact. Luckily, it wasn't any more, considering that was on the right rear corner panel of Greg Biffle, especially at these high speeds at Michigan, the fastest track in NASCAR. Hornaday trying to cut right back, though. Hornaday on the inside. He's clear, and Biffle never actually led in that transition. Biffle, though, with a crossover into turns 1 and 2. It's unbelievable how strong Hornaday is. Biffle's doing all he can just to stay with him. Oh, Biffle's in another cup race I'm going to this. Well, that's sweet, man. I thought the Daytona 500 was going to be a one-off experience. I didn't think he was going to be running part-time for New York Racing. I honestly didn't even know New York Racing was going to be running as many races this year. I figured it was 500, maybe super speedways only, and that was going to be it. I guess Atlanta's a super speedway now. Oh, some smoke in turns 1 and 2, like there might have been a near crash. That last lap, we're still caution-free. And we have had 3 caution-free Busch Series races so far this season. We only had 2 at Old Spice Speedway, and that was a 200-lap road course race. Biffle again, just going to go wide. Hornaday again is going to get down to the bottom. Biffle going to try to cross him back over. Side drafted him a bit, then pulls away down to the bottom, so Hornaday didn't have a chance to try and side draft the Biff. Biffle through turns 1 and 2. Slides up, clear. Hornaday a little too tight, it looked like, off the exit of the corner to get the turn underneath the 60. A great battle between Hornaday and Biffle today. This is looking like maybe a Busch Series Instant Classic, the way this one's played out so far. Only 3 different leaders, but what a battle between the 2 and the 60. That's what you love to see. Drivers on the edge, and a great clean battle on top of it on a very fast racetrack. Biffle's probably going to be able to go anywhere between lap 48 to 52 will be his fuel run throughout the course of the race. Again, he hit the halfway mark on fuel at lap 26. He was also able to draft, though, quite a bit behind Hornaday, which helped. These guys are quite a ways ahead of third place, even with them battling back and forth the way they have. I believe Hornaday has led the most laps at this point. I believe he's led more than Bobby Hamilton now. Almost gets underneath Biffle in turns 1 and 2. Right front tire's starting to wear out a little bit on the 60. It's in the yellow. Hornaday running all the way down to the inside. The back straightaway. 194 miles an hour into turn 3 for the Biff. We're going to go down trying to break the draft in the tri-oval. Trying to make sure that Hornaday wasn't going to get any sort of extra speed into turn 1 and had no opportunity to pass Biffle that time. And Biffle hits his marks in 1 and 2 anyway. So that also helps. Try to break the draft again down the back straightaway. Hornaday not going down to try and follow him right now. Really good corner for Ron Hornaday through 3 and 4. Biffle going to go down again, trying to break the draft. Gaps Hornaday by about a half a car length on the front stretch. Miles Connor, welcome to the stream. Is this 2021? No, this is not NASCAR. Well, oh, never mind. I was about to say, well, the year it is, but then I realized it's 2022. But No, this is not NASCAR 21 Ignition. NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 tonight. Doubleheader for our Busch Series custom schedule season at Michigan, and then the second race will be at Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight. Currently have 89 laps to go. That time by at the start-finish line. Spiffle leads over Ron Hornaday. Biffle just ran his fastest lap of the race, 39.027. Passed halfway through the tire stand as well. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, he's got clean air, so that probably does help. Again, trying to go down, break whatever draft he can through the tri-oval. Hornaday. About 2 car lengths back into turn 1. We'll try to make this time up. One way or another. About a tenth slower that last lap than the lap before for Biffle. He's not going to be able to keep that pace up too much longer into this run, you would think. It's definitely a pace quick enough that Hornaday is going to have a hard time trying to get around him. Quarter tank of gas left. Biffle slides up off the exit of turn 2, and Hornaday gained quite a bit of time that go around. He might try to drive it in deep onto the bottom into turns 3 and 4. He does. Biffle a bit wider. And there goes Hornaday. Oh man, they almost made contact. Off of turn 4. Hornaday leads. Hornaday really sidetracked to the 60. He came pretty close off the exit of turn 4 to hitting him. Yes, both races tonight on NASCAR 05. Again, 2 separate streams. Second race will start about 15 to 20 minutes after the conclusion of this race. Trying to take a shortcut down to the apron again. That time Biffle actually was able to do it pretty well. He didn't really gain any ground on Hornaday. Now he slips up, though, off the exit of turn 2. Bit of a wiggle. Hornaday went wide himself, though, so Biffle didn't really lose time to him. Still kind of trying to catch the car into turn 3. XJYJZ, welcome to the stream. Curious to see whose picker is going to be faster between Hornaday and Biffle. They're fairly even on speed. I do think the 2 is a bit faster because it seems like when Biffle gets to the lead, he's not able to hang on quite as long as Hornaday. I think a lot of it is just the straightaway speed in the 2. Chevrolet versus a Ford. And Biffle is there. I think by inches Hornaday led that lap. Biffle stayed as low as he could off of turn 4, trying to make sure Hornaday wasn't going to side draft him back, and Hornaday was still able to power forward through the tri-oval. Probably had a bit of a run off the high side as well. I guess that would have helped. Biffle probably should have tried to side draft Hornaday more himself. I can probably tighten it up a little bit. But the car is so fast, I'm worried if I tighten it up, we're going to be not as fast on the straightaways, and really not being that fast on the straightaways is what's hurting Greg Biffle right now. Dropped off about a half a second all of a sudden off his fastest lap of the race, which was only ran about 7 to 8 laps ago. Eighth of a tank of gas left now for Biffle. Biffle picked up a couple tenths that lap. Hornaday going way down low. I don't know if he was trying to break the draft or what the case was there, but Biffle was able to get the draft on the bottom. I don't think Biffle had that big of a run until Hornaday pulled down and he was able to create a block. Hornaday maybe trying to squeeze Biffle into the tri-oval. Biffle got a little loose. Hornaday gaps him by a few car lengths into turn 1. Right rear now into the yellow. Almost all 4 tires are there on the 60. And a lot of cars are on pit road that time through. We'll see when Hornaday will pit. And then, of course, when Greg Biffle will pit. Hornaday running a half a line down. I don't think he's pitting this time. He's not all the way on the inside through turns 3 and 4. Biffle has a run off turn 4 again. I don't really listen to rap. I guess I'd say Eminem. I mean, really anything from, like, very rare occasions I would listen to rap. I have to really be feeling it, because I'm more of a metalhead. But anything from, like, the 90s or early 2000s is probably what I would listen to, or prefer if I had my choice, if I had to listen to it. I don't really know that many, though, either. Oh, jeez. Looking at the chat. Biffle's going to go to lap 51, and then he'll pit. Hornaday stays out another lap as well. So Hornaday and Biffle might be on the same pit strategy also. It's only going to make it even harder for the 60 to try and get around him. Dale Jr. coming out of the pits. And there goes the left rear end of the yellow for Greg Biffle. Biffle will stay out this time by. We'll see if Hornaday will also. Might be reading each other's mind on when they'll come into the pits, and I don't think Hornaday's going to pit this time either. He started that corner pretty high, though he's going down towards the bottom now. I think that was just to block Biffle, because Biffle did have a bit of a run down the back straightaway. So lap 51, Biffle will pit this time by. And we'll see if Hornaday will come with him. If Biffle pits before the 2, that could allow Biffle to get to the lead following the pit stops, but we'll have to wait and see. Down the back straightaway. Biffle drafting behind Hornaday. He's got to run. Hornaday going to go low, so is Biffle. So I think that is the signal that Hornaday is going to try to pit. Greg Biffle's going to try to as well. Who's going to get onto pit road first? Biffle's going to try to take a wider arc. There goes the 2 in. A lot of asphalt. Hornaday drives it really deep into the pit lane. 70 miles an hour is the pit road speed. And I think Hornaday might have been able to get onto pit road a little bit better than what Greg Biffle was. No damage to repair. 4 tires and fuel for Greg Biffle. No adjustments. Wonder if the 2 will make any adjustments. So both the leaders on pit road at the same time. And the Mr. Clean crew will go to work on the Charger Ford. Days of Thunder is a good movie. Oh, and that's a big mishap on that pit stop. The Mr. Clinker did a really good job. Quick, fast stop. The problem was J.G. Yaley was coming into his box as Greg Biffle was coming out. Therefore, Greg Biffle had to check up, and Hornaday is going to leave the 60 in the dust. It looks like Kyle Busch is up to second now. And Greg Biffle has fallen off. And he's not even within drafting range now behind Ron Hornaday either, as he's getting up to speed into turn 3. Biffle will be in 3rd place as Dale Jr. in 4th is right behind him. Biffle is 5 seconds off the race lead. That's how much time got costed out. Hornaday did get into the pits a little bit better, so that also hurt Biffle, but not as much as Yaley coming into the box, but better than those 2 making contact on pit road. J.J. Yaley always ruins everything. Doesn't he cause some late race yellows, though, for Rick Ware Racing sometimes, too, in recent years? Him and David Starr are like those 2 drivers in NASCAR today. Whether, no matter what series it is, it seems like they're causing accidents the back of the pack later in a race. So a little shy of halfway yet. It's a 2-stop race today. Easy 2-stop race. No fuel mileage as far as we know. And by the sounds of it, Mark Martin's coming back up onto the racetrack. I guess he blew an engine earlier. He's going to try to pick up some more spots. Biffle just ran his fastest lap of the race. Finally got into the 38-second lap barrier that last time through at 38.996. Yeah, okay, Stenhouse does too. His aren't late in the race. It seems like Stenhouse's are earlier in the race. This isn't really late in the race when Yaley did that. There's still plenty of time. We have 70 laps to go this go around. Back to the stripe. But no adjustments. I wonder if the track's starting to come to Biffle with all the rubber being laid down. Back in the 39.0s that last lap where he was running in the first run. I don't know where that 38.9 came from. I think it's because of the clean air and the fresh tires, because that's something he didn't have at the beginning of the race despite qualifying on the pole. Took him 20 laps to get his first lap led of the race. I still don't think he's even led 10 laps. Eric Jones this year. Yeah, this year it's Brad Keselowski earlier in the race, and then it's Eric Jones late in 2022. And they're both really good, talented drivers, too, so it's strange that you're seeing that out of both of them. Biffle is picking up on Ron Hornaday. 39.029 that last lap. It's down to 3.5 seconds. Again, he was 5 seconds off the lead. He pulled away from Dale Jr. pretty quickly. Now, granted, it was a 2-car breakaway earlier anyway. I wonder where Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s at as well in the running order, because he led laps early. He led about the first 12, 13 laps of the race or so, give or take. And he's at least not in the top 4 following our first set of pit stops. Now, you would think Mark Martin would stay out of the way with how slow he is whenever the leaders decide to catch him. Or will catch him. It's not really their choice. They will catch him multiple times. It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to slow down the leaders, especially with Biffle knowing that Martin's a teammate. And if it gets down late in the race, will he help a teammate out if Biffle's back in contention? Which, by the pace he's running so far in this run, I think he'll get back to Hornaday. It's going to be a little bit yet. He's still 3 seconds off the lead. A little more than that. It's also going to matter how long it's going to take for him to get around Kyle Busch. Passing's been pretty tough today. Busch still sitting second in the point standings coming into this one. Having a good season early on through the first 10 completed races. And we'll be halfway home in about 3 laps this time by. Let half his car down on the apron and turns 3 and 4. Still stuck it pretty well though. Close enough to draft behind Busch in the tri-oval. 196 miles an hour into turn 1. It's about all you can get out of the Busch Series cars. Down the back straightaway in the draft behind Busch. 194. This could be Biffle's fastest lap of the race. Kyle's going to try to block. Wow, yep, that was his fastest lap, 38.966. I figured the way he was in the draft quite a bit that lap, and they're closing in on Mark Martin as well. And I think Martin might have already slowed down one of the top drivers. The race leader, Ron Hornaday, all of a sudden is only 1.7 seconds ahead of Biffle. Kyle Busch gets checked up off turn 2 on the outside behind Mark Martin, so Martin potentially helping his teammate Greg Biffle out. At least just a little bit that lap. Definitely clears Kyle Busch by a ton. He's already a couple seconds ahead of him. About a 10th quicker that last lap. But it was the lap before where Biffle gained a ton on race leader Ron Hornaday. Martin's really off the pace. I'm surprised they're not black flagging him because that's dangerously slow. Especially at this fast of a track. There's no way he's at minimum speed. Running 38 and 39 second lap times today, and I think he's running like 45, 46. It's probably like 5-6 seconds off the leaders. And he's probably flat-footing it all the way around with how slow he's going, too. Definitely down a cylinder. Maybe 2 or 3. Looks like Hornaday's caught another lap car down the back straightaway as well. First traditional lap car of the race. Not going to count Mark Martin. He's already a bunch of laps down. Ashton G, welcome to the stream. Hornaday still stuck off the exit of turn 4. So lap traffic is not helping Ron Hornaday. This is only the second car he's caught total, and one of them was a very slow Mark Martin who's off the pace and well off of speed. Hornaday finally makes the pass on the lap car in turns 1 and 2. Comment down below in the chat if you think this one's going to go caution-free. We've had 3 of them already for the Busch Series. We haven't had one in the Cup Series yet. I wonder if we ever will with the races we still have left on the schedule. But so far it's been fairly clean Busch Series season despite the first few races having a lot of yellows. Daytona's still the race with the most caution so far with 5. Talladega tied it, I guess. I think Hornaday got the wall off of turn 2. He lost a couple tenths through turns 1 and 2 that time, and he was awfully close to the wall. Here comes Biffle. Corey Haynes in the 117 car. Biffle is going to draft off of Haynes through the tri-oval. Pulling down to the bottom. Haynes going to give Biffle plenty of room. Billy says 3 cautions. Well, we're already in the second half of this one. I'd be shocked if we saw that many. But cautions breed cautions at the same time. We know how crazy restarts can be at Michigan too with how wide this track is. Guess I wouldn't be completely surprised. Biffle's got a run on Hornaday. Hornaday down to block off the exit of turn 4. So Biffle has caught back up to the 2. It took him a little bit of time, but he is there. Here's the problem, though. Hornaday's been the fastest car in the field. Ooh, contact with the lap cars. See him going side by side through turns 1 and 2. Oh, and one of them goes up the track nearly in the wall. Off the exit of turn 2. I wouldn't be surprised if that contact on corner entry knocked those cars out of shape. Jimmy Hill in the 116. I'm not sure who's underneath him. Someone. The leaders are coming in pretty hot. Could lead for an opportunity for Biffle to get around. It's the 109 car as well. I think it's Lance Brantley. They're side by side as Jimmy Hill's going to try to cross 109 back over. Racing hard for back half of the top 30s. Hornaday down to the bottom, though. He didn't get hung out behind those guys at all. Though he might have gotten hung up behind Jimmy Hill in the 116. He got by the Brantley pretty quickly. Biffle's got a run on him in the tri-oval, but not enough. Hornaday's already down low, so he'll be able to make an easier block. Biffle just rides in line behind him. And I think that's Mark Martin up ahead that's slowing a few more lap cars up. They're going to catch Martin into turn 3. Oh, wow. On the brakes goes Biffle into turns 3 and 4. Everybody's hung up behind the 9 of Martin. Biffle's just trying to keep it off the back of the 2. And now Hornaday trying to accelerate as they will get by Martin. That lap time was about 9/10 of a second slower than Biffle's fastest lap of the race. That stack up. Have I ever stolen something? No. Not that I know of. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm still cautiously optimistic with Atlanta, but I hope it's a barn burner. All the super speedway races I've seen in person, the 2 at Dega and then the Daytona 500 this year have been awesome. So I'm hoping Atlanta will be the same. A little bit more lap traffic coming up ahead. 4 cars this time around. Patrick says no more cautions. So none at all. Would be Patrick's. It does seem like if we do seem to get one, it's always late in the race. It's been like that for the Cup and the Busch Series season. We don't get that many cautions, but late in the race we tend to see a few. Checkers the records, baby. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen either. Well, Hollia Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in. And a Wednesday night doubleheader on the channel. Our first race at Michigan, our second race at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Both on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 and both in the Busch Series. side by side with the lap traffic ahead of Hornaday. We'll see where these guys are going to go as they get into turns 3 and 4. Hornaday down onto the bottom pretty easily. The first 2 cars are going to make a pathway for the leaders. Oh boy. Slid up quite a bit. Almost got into Shane Kirkland. Hornaday going down to block Biffle 3 wide to the inside of the lap traffic. This is the first we've seen 3 wide all day. Biffle's going to have to follow him down on the bottom lane. And they were able to make it. If you're going to go 3 wide any track, I think Michigan might be the best track. Outside of a super speedway, but even then, though, it could still get sketchy on any track. Ross the Bosch Chastain running a watermelon Advent Health scheme at Atlanta. Is that a sign that he may win? He's been close the last few races. Hasn't gotten it yet, though. Green flag pit stops going on within the window to make it to the end of the race on fuel. Some drivers are trying to make their second and final stop of the race. They think it's going to go caution-free. Quite a bit of a gamble. But in their situation, you got no really other shot to win with how much the top 2 have put a beating on the field today. Again, still sitting at 3 different leaders, but we've had quite a few lead changes, most of them between Biffle and Hornaday. We still have 49 laps to go this time by. Biffle would like to try to make another move on Hornaday sometime soon. Hasn't really been able to get enough of a run behind him, though, to try and make that pass. Cars coming out of the pits. Down on the bottom of the racetrack. We're going to have a little bit fresher tires. Well, halfway on fuel. Biffle pit at lap 51, as well as Hornaday. They both pit at the same lap last time, and I wonder if that means they'll both pit on lap 102. Remember, Biffle lost time to Ron Hornaday. He was about 5 seconds off the lead following the first set of green flag pit stops. Not because of a slow stop, but near contact on pit road. J.J. Yaley, who was in the pit box ahead of Greg Biffle, pulled in as Biffle was pulling out. Biffle had to check up and wait for him and allowed Hornaday to get away with a clean stop of his own. Biffle finally ran him back down about 8 to 10 laps ago, but he hasn't been able to make a pass on him since. Can't lose that much time, especially during this next stop. It's going to have to be much cleaner. About 197 miles an hour. Biffle tried to get underneath Hornaday that time. He came close. But he was all the way down on the apron with the left side tires. He had to back out of the gas before the car was wanting to slide up the track. He could feel that he was right on the edge. And he didn't want to push it any further that time. Trying to reel Hornaday back in with the share draft. Saw Biffle use this earlier in the race as well. Trying to think of the times I've seen a driver get their first career cup win in person. I think the only time I seen it off the top of my head would have been Alex Bowman in Chicagoland, 2019. Then Austin Cindric in the Daytona 500 this year. That just slipped right past me. Those are the only two, though, that I can recall. This will be my 30th cup race I've ever been to this weekend. Kind of a milestone, I guess. Lap 82. More lap traffic into turns 1 and 2. Mark Martin is 3 wide on the outside of a bunch of cars right now as they're all checking up in the middle of turns 1 and 2. They're stacking up towards the outside lane. Martin trying to stay wide and out of the way. Hornaday gasses it up down to the bottom. Biffle going to try to draft off of Hornaday as much as he can as they both get by the slow 9 car of Mark Martin. It's the 3rd time already that the leaders have gotten around Martin. Came out of the pits just after lap 50. Good thing it's a 2-mile track, though. I know that means the speeds are a lot greater when they catch him, but they're not going to catch him as many times versus if it was a short track. Seen Harvick win 4 times in... Oh, jeez. Must be his good luck charm. I think this is a season we could see more than 16 different winners. I didn't buy it last year. But this year, with it being the new car, and we're seeing a lot of parity. I mean, there's 2 drivers without a win in their entire careers that nearly got one this last weekend. Reddick's been close a few times this year, and Chastain's been close the last 2 weeks now. It's possible. Hornaday's getting through the lap traffic pretty well outside of what led to Biffle catching him in the first place. It was the only time he really struggled to get around any lap cars. For the very first 2 he caught, but ever since then he's getting around him just as good as Biffle. Biffle's still not going anywhere. "41 laps to go at the line. Still caution free." I think there were 16 winners total last season if you count the playoff races. Bubba Wallace winning in the playoffs. Didn't win in the regular season. And I think there was somebody else also that did the same thing. Could be wrong. Oh, Denny Hamlin. Even though he made the playoffs on points, he didn't get any wins until they got to the playoffs. Gonna alternate through the different camera angles for the 2nd time in tonight's race. About the next 4 laps. Biffle rides behind Ron Hornaday in the 2. Side by side up on the top. Hornaday couldn't get 3 wide down to the bottom. Now the 119's holding both the leaders up. That was a chance for Biffle to get underneath of Ron Hornaday. Hornaday goes all the way down to the white line trying to block the 60 of Biffle. Biffle realized that that was a great attempt to try and make the pass, and he wasn't able to do it. I predicted Tyler Reddick to win at Homestead last season. Or, I mean, sorry, not last season, but this year in my preseason prediction video. So I would not be shocked if that happened. The channel's barely over 2 years old, but I didn't start doing live commentary for the actual races until last season. I only did about 12 of them. This year we're doing 22. We've got 3 in already. Not going to be doing this weekend because I'll be at Atlanta for the Cup race. But most weekends this year I'm going to be doing them when I'm not at the track. I think there's only 4 of them that won't be the case. I'll still make an initiative to go to my grandparents to watch a few races this year, like I do every year. Biffle gets to the bottom. Pushes up in the middle of the corner, though. Look at how close he is to Ron Hornaday. Hornaday with a big block. Massive block. And he wasn't all the way clear with it either. There was a little bit of contact. Oh, and Hornaday nearly gets into Manny Brown into turn one right in front of Biffle. Hornaday again blocking down the back straightaway. That's twice now Biffle's had a run, wasn't able to get around him. About a quarter tank of gas left. So we have a really good battle for the lead. That's twice down the last lap. Biffle's had a run and he's trying to get around him. Yeah, I'll be doing more Xfinity and truck races this year. I just work Fridays and Saturdays, so the only ones I'll be doing are going to be the night races where I could get home in time. Oh, Mark Martin down low. Leader's checking up. Mark Martin was down on the bottom lane where both the 2 and the 60 were running on corner entry into turn 3. It's the 4th time they've caught Mark Martin in less than 35 laps. Oh, Biffle gets tight. Almost got in the wall off turn 2. He had to get way out of the throttle. And he might lose the draft of Hornaday, which is going to be problematic now that these guys are on older tires. There's another lap car, though, in front of the 2. That might help. Hornaday still in the wake of dirty air. Not quite close enough yet, though, in the tri-oval. He's still about 0.4 of a second off. Lap car Sean Batson on the outside. Hornaday underneath him, but he does not clear the lapper off of turn 2. So as they run side by side, now Biffle hops in the draft on the outside lane. He gained about 1/10 of a second through turns 1 and 2 that time. Drives it really deep and really flat into turn 3. Washes up the racetrack. He clears the lap car a lot quicker than Hornaday did. You can definitely tell he gained enough time, at least enough to get back into the draft of the 2. And again, he'll ride in line behind him, at least through the tri-oval this time. 195 miles an hour on older tires into turn 1. Back to the far chase cam for the rest of the race. Laps are definitely counting down pretty quickly. Biffle looking for a run again as he pulls out of line, and Hornaday's still there. If they go 51 laps on this run, just like they did on the opening fuel and tire stint of the race, then that means they'll pit at about lap 102. Biff would like to get to the lead because Hornaday was able to outbrake him and gain a little bit of time even regardless of J.J. Yaley getting in Biffle's way on pit road. He'd like to try to stay within the 2 car. Doesn't want to fall away from him, especially with this stop coming much, much later in the race, and it's not even going to be a full run to the end of the race either for the time these guys pit. Biffle trying to get the turn in the race car. So close, that left rear corner panel of Ron Hornaday, and Hornaday really chopped him off the exit of turn 2. He's all over the back of him. Coming to 29 laps to go. Biffle looks low. Hornaday trying to squeeze a bit of contact. Hornaday, whoa, way up the track. Biffle trying to go down to the bottom. Will Hornaday have him clear? No, he will not. Into turn 3. Biffle finally, for the first time during this fuel run, is going to get to the lead. He's clear off of turn 4. I would assume Hornaday is going to go on to lead the most laps today, even if Biffle led all the way to the end. Hornaday pretty flat into turn 1. Biffle will hold on. Trying to keep him behind. One car blowing up down on the apron of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. It's Lance Brantley in the 109 car. He was already a lap down, even before he would have potentially made his pit stop. Not sure if he did or not, but either way, his day will come to an end. So Martin may have another chance to get around another car for position before the end of the race. Martin not running for points, considering he has missed some races this year, so I'm actually surprised that he has come back out on the racetrack trying to get some laps in. You wouldn't usually see that out of the Cup regulars in the Busch Series. Biffle's gapped Hornaday just a tad. Low exit to turn 4 as well that time. Got about 2 to 3 car lengths on Hornaday into the tri-oval. Will be 100 laps complete this time by at the start-finish line. Biffle going to stay out of the pits this time, and he'll pit at lap 102. So this time and next time by, he'll stay out. It'll be a 51-lap run just like it was earlier for him. Oh no, never mind. Hornaday's coming in. Biffle's coming in at the same time. Has to lock the brakes up to keep from speeding with the late dive onto pit road, and he does do a great job of doing so. 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments for the 60. Not going to repair any damage. He doesn't really have any, though. He's kept the car super clean today. And now it's on the Mr. Clean crew to have a clean stop with less than 25 laps to go. Biffle was going to stay out a couple more laps, but Hornaday went to pull in earlier than expected, and Biffle saw that. And, oh, a little bit of a mistake by the Jackman. Having to take a little bit of a detour on the way to the left side of the race car, and that is just enough time for Hornaday to win the race out of the pits. So a little bit of a mistake by the Mr. Clean crew, not a clean stop whatsoever. And Hornaday wins the race off of pit road. Biffle not as far behind this time around. He's about 2 seconds back. And how hard it's been to pass him all day today, too. Hornaday might have been able to get up to speed a little quicker. He had a car not that far in front of him. He was able to draft off him versus Biffle was all by himself. So looks like about 2.2 seconds is what Biffle will have to come back from in the final 24 laps of the Cabela's 250 at Michigan. They should catch Mark Martin at least 2 more times. More cars pitting off of turn 4 yet. So that's 2 times on pit road that whether it was the pit crew's fault or somebody pulling into the box right in front of Biffle causing him to have to wait, there has been mishaps of some sort during the only 2 green flag stops today that Biffle keeps coming out behind Hornaday. This one not as costly as the last one, but considering it is this late in the race, it might deem to be as costly, if not even more costly. As he was able to get to the lead just a couple laps before they had to pit. It does seem like Hornaday's been stuck behind that lap car a little bit, and Biffle has closed in a couple tenths of a second over the last lap and a half. Trying to get as low as he can in turns 3 and 4. Not wanting the car to bobble. Dangerous line down on the bottom to go that low in the middle of the corner. Trying to cut as much time off as he can, at least with the fresher tires and the clean air. It might be a little bit easier to do that this early in the run. See if he can step it up into the 38.9s like he did earlier. He ran a few lap times on fresher tires. To get to that, he ran a 39.0 that last lap. He gets to Hornaday, though. He's going to have to get around him as quick as he can. We haven't seen a caution yet today. Caution comes out, that's less time, and more cars will be back in the race. The race could potentially end under a caution if it's late enough as well. We've had a few green-white checkers this season. Think back to Daytona when a caution came out with 5 to go, and we only had 1 lap left on the restart. Biffle was able to time it well. He got around Dale Jr. going from 2nd to 1st on that final lap. He's got through the gears a little bit quicker in turns 1 and 2. Hornaday caught another lap car off the exit of turn 4 that he was not able to clear. "20 laps left at Michigan." Trying to look at the track map to see if I see somebody that is way off the pace compared to everybody else. I don't see anybody noticeable. Just trying to figure out where exactly Mark Martin's at. Matthew Ring, welcome to the stream. Oh, Biffle overdrove it. That was kind of my fault. I looked at the chat at the wrong time right as I was diving into the corner. That cost a Biffle about 0.2 of a second. He got it down to 1 second off the lead flat. Now it's back to 1.2. He doesn't need that this late in the race. That was a big slide, though. All 4 tires were on the apron. He's been able to stick it with 2 tires down there early in the tire stint, but not with all 4. Barely cleared Billy Parker off the exit of turn 4. Luckily, I didn't slow him down any sort of side draft going on. Tiny Buchanan in the 113's the next lap car up ahead. He's the only lap car between the top 2 right now. Biffle's on a bit of a win streak coming into this one. He's won back-to-back, trying to make it 3 in a row. Chance at 4 in a row if he could sweep the doubleheader tonight. Buchanan stays wide through 3 and 4. Biffle not going to be able to clear him, though, off the exit of the corner, so he could pull all the way up. He's got to stay really low through the tri-oval. Now he'll pull up. He's clear now. He didn't want Buchanan to try and side draft that right rear corner panel at all, but Buchanan's going to try to cross Biffle over, and he's going to get back to the inside in turns 1 and 2. So Buchanan racing Biffle hard all of a sudden. It looked like he was going to let him go. Biffle barely keeps it off the wall. Now he's in the wall. And that's going to cost him some time down the backstretch. Not sure why Buchanan crossed him over. And he's going to let him back through in turns 3 and 4. It looks like Hornaday's closing in on Mark Martin off the exit of turn 4. And Hornaday's being held up by Mark Martin. Teammate of Greg Biffle getting in the way of the race leader. And here comes the Biff. Martin's going to stay wide to let the 60 go. So after Biffle made a mistake that last lap, Martin helped him out. And Biffle's only about 0.4 of a second off the lead. He's close enough to draft Hornaday on the back straightaway now. That was a huge help for the 60. And they should get to Mark Martin one more time before the end of this race yet. Biffle trying to intimidate Hornaday that time, didn't work. It's been tough to pass him today. If he could force him into a mistake, that'd be huge. Oh, couldn't hit the same line as him. I mean, Martin probably costed Hornaday a good 7 to 8 tenths of a second. More lap cars. Hermie Sadler in the 0-2 will be the next one. Biffle felt the run. He pulled out of line. Might be a little too far back into turns 1 and 2. Hornaday had plenty of time to try and roll back down to the bottom. Spuddy, welcome to the stream. I'm doing great. Just in time to see this finish. I have 13 laps to go this time by. This is the first race of a doubleheader. Again, second race will be at the Indianapolis Raceway Park later. Biffle, oh no, he gets into Hornaday. He slid up a little too early, and he really took the line away of Ron Hornaday, and I don't think the 2-car appreciated that, but Biffle is in the lead, and both cars are barely able to keep it off the wall. And now Biffle trying to block after they both lost a lot of momentum, and they're trying to get their speed up into turn 1. Hornaday back down to the bottom. Side by side for the lead. Biffle trying to stay in the right rear corner panel. Hornaday's clear though. Biffle going extremely low into 3 again. This time he'll slide up and he should be clear. Oh my goodness. I thought I was going to clear him by a lot more than I did. Oh! Biffle wanted to block. Trying to squeeze him. Through turns 1 and 2. This is tight. Biffle gonna try a double crossover into turn 3. Lap car of Hornaday on the outside. Biffle trying to squeeze Hornaday behind him, but Hornaday wants nothing of it. They're 3 wide off the exit of turn 4. Biffle tried to squeeze the 2 behind the 0-2. He couldn't do it. And they're going to be 3 wide into 1, and nobody's going to give an inch, at least on the bottom 2 rows. Hopefully Sadler lets them go as they merge off of turn 2. Biffle has the lead. And Hornaday also was able to clear Sadler. Biffle went low to try and break the draft. Oh, wow, he missed turn 3 by a lot. Now he's starting to overdrive the car a little bit. Now that he's battling for something. Hornaday clear. Biffle undercut off of turn 4. 10 to go at the line. These two are light years ahead of Kyle Busch and Dale Jr. back in 3rd and 4th. I don't see those two having a shot to win this without a late yellow. Biffle clear. Didn't slide up enough for Hornaday to cross him over that time either. This is a custom schedule season. This isn't the career mode. Custom schedule season. Biffle getting a draft off of the lap car of Tim Fedewa. It's allowing him to pull Hornaday on the front stretch. And they should catch Mark Martin one more time yet, you would think. Biffle drafting. Not as much as he did the first go-around. On the front stretch, Biffle will clear Tim Fedewa with an easy pass through 3 and 4. Fedewa gave Biffle plenty of room. That's going to put a lap car between the top 2 now. Hornaday going to try to pull out a line into turns 1 and 2. Now he'll get underneath the 12 of Fedewa. We'll see if he'll clear him off the exit of turn 2. And no, he did not. But Hornaday is charging back. He seemed to pick up a little bit of time. It looked like Biffle was starting to pull away from him, and Biffle got around Fedewa pretty quickly. Maybe even cleaner than Hornaday did, but he didn't pull him enough. Biffle didn't roll the bottom. He's trying to get down there, but he already missed it on entry. He couldn't get it off the exit. Gets really loose, barely keeps it off the wall. Contact down the backstretch with the leaders. Biffle was sideways and he was just trying to catch the car. He didn't want to lift. Mark Martin down on the bottom. Oh no, he's sliding up right in front of the leader. Biffle had to check up. And Martin just about costed his teammate the lead there. Hornaday's got a huge run on the front stretch. Down into turn 1. Hornaday takes it. He almost gets into the back of Biffle into turn 1. Biffle again going up the track. Mark Martin costed Hornaday the last time they caught him. This time he costed his own teammate. And they nearly make contact off turn 2 again as Biffle tries to squeeze Hornaday into 3. Big block down to the bottom. Hornaday to the outside, late into the corner to catch the clean air on the front nose. I think Tim Fito was going to get underneath him off of turn 4. Tried to at least, but Hornaday stayed in front of him. 5 to go. We get a caution this late in the race. It could end it. No cautions on the final lap. Last race was the New York one for the Cup Series. Old Spice Speedway was the last Busch race. I think somebody else just pulled into the pits recently. Looks like there's another car on pit road that might have blown an engine. We'll check that in the running order at the end. Hornaday gets a bit wide, and that time Fito was definitely underneath him off the exit of turn 4. That's going to help Biffle. The 2's got somebody underneath him. That's side drafting him. Biffle pulling away just a bit in the tri-oval. 4 to go. Mike Bliss in the 20 is the next and likely the last lap car that the leaders will catch in this race. They shouldn't catch Martin again. Fito was still underneath Hornaday. Hornaday cannot break free of him. And if he doesn't get around the 12 quickly, or the 12 doesn't let him around, looks like the 12 just cleared the 2. That's going to hurt Hornaday even more. Hornaday's going to have to try to cross him back over again. 3 to go. Biffle close enough to draft off the 20 through the tri-oval. Oh, Biffle touched the apron. He gets into Bliss. He got into Mike Bliss. And here comes Hornaday with a massive run to the outside. Big mistake by the 60. He overdrove the corner with the lap car above him, who gave him plenty of room. Fito got back underneath the 2, though. He went with the 60 on the bottom. 2 to go at the line. No more lap cars. Plus Fito sticks his nose underneath the 60 as well, but he's dealing with the 2 car again. I think Hornaday's had enough of Fito. Fito just cleared him off turn 2. Hornaday's going to have to get back around him, and he needs to do it quick if he's going to want any shot on the final lap. Hornaday to the inside of Fito. He'll clear him off of turn 4. Biffle trying to break the draft on the bottom. He's got about a 4/10 of a second lead, and I don't even think Hornaday cleared Fito. They're still side by side. And Tim Fito might have just costed Ron Hornaday a shot to win this race. I don't think he is close enough to get a draft down the back straightaway. Biffle's going to run low just in case. And Hornaday is going to be too far back to catch Greg Biffle, so things were heating up there late. But Greg Biffle is going to be able to hold on to win at Michigan. Off of turn 4, winner of the Cabela's 250, 3rd straight win for Greg Biffle in the Busch Series. He is your winner of race 1 of the doubleheader. Great battle, though. I mean, it was fairly clean for the most part. There was a little bit of contact off of turn 2 that one time I got loose, but outside of that, it was a pretty good battle back and forth at the end. And luckily, those pit stops didn't come back to bite the 60. And he'll burn it down on the front stretch at MIS. Mark DeMars, thanks for tuning into the stream. My day is great. We'll go through the finishing results, but don't go too far away from the channel because we will have our second race of the doubleheader at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. IRP, short track racing, for race 2 of the doubleheader. That will be coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the start of that stream. I'm not going to practice for that race, but I will qualify. And we'll take a look at your unofficial, I guess, official results. There's no tech inspection in this game, so I don't have to worry about anybody getting disqualified. Greg Biffle leads 27 laps after starting on the pole to win this race. Hornaday led 87 of the 125 laps today. He was definitely tough to pass when he was out in front. Lap cars kind of got in his way there at the end. Tim Fedowa, I'd say, costed Hornaday a chance to win. I don't know if he would have gotten back around the 60, but it definitely could have been a fight those last 2 laps, but unfortunately, we were robbed of maybe an even better finish than what we were shaping it up to be. Caution-free, though, for the 4th time this season in the Busch Series. In just 11 races, we have gone caution-free. Average speed of 180.18 miles an hour. And the margin of victory, 0.4 of a second. It's almost a half a second between the two drivers. Hornaday again finishes in second. He started 15th. He got to the lead in the first 20 laps, so it goes to show. He didn't trim it out for qualifying, but he had speed from the get-go. Kyle Busch finishes in 3rd. No laps led for him. In fact, the only other driver who led laps today was Bobby Hamilton Jr., so 12 lead changes, but only 3 different leaders. Hamilton started 4th, and he led at the start of the race. He got to the lead initially and held on before Biffle took the lead, or sorry, Hornaday took the lead from him, and then Biffle took the lead from Hornaday. It was back and forth from then on, from pretty much about lap 20 to 25 to the end. Dale Jr. finishes in 4th place. Casey Atwood rounds out the top 5 with a good run. Bobby Hamilton Jr. finished 6th. He led the first 11 laps today. Johnny Sauter finishes 7th. Ashton Lewis 8th. J.J. Yaley 9th. Jason Keller rounds out the top 10. And the top 16 cars finished on the lead lap in this race. We'll check to see who all DNF'd in this one. Sean Batson failed to finish. He blew an engine late. Jimmy Hill blew an engine late. Lance Brantley, we saw him blow an engine. Mark Martin was just 1 lap behind Brantley. He almost got around him. Martin blew an engine, but then came back out on the racetrack. He was obviously down a cylinder the final half of the race, but he was able to at least finish 4 spots ahead. We had a lot of engine failures in this one, though. I guess as fast as this racetrack is, it is pretty taxing on these engines, especially in this time period of NASCAR. But for a 125 lap race, only 250 miles, that might be the most DNFs I think I've seen in a Busch race this season. Cody Holt, Donnie Hart, David Green, and Campbell also blew an engine, so we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 DNFs, and then Martin finished the race about 31 laps down with an engine issue of his own. So almost 8 DNFs, or 8 drivers that at least had some sort of engine issues today. That's quite a bit. I wonder what the Cup race is going to lead to at this place then. You might see even more than that. Hour 23 minutes was the total race time. Our second race should be a little bit quicker. It is 75 laps longer, but it's on a 5/8 mile short track at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Again, that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the running of the Kroger 200. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching race 1 of our Wednesday night doubleheader on the channel. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Like and subscribe on your way out.